You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome to episode 170 of the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast, brought to you by Drip Drop. Drip Drop was invented to treat dehydration in the most challenging circumstances. It was invented by doctors, and it's used by athletes. It's used by military members, used by doctors. It's used by literally everyone that's dehydrated, or it should be, at least. And it's used by the Garage Guys. And right now, you can get over to dripdrop.com, use promo code GarageGuys20, and you'll get a discount when you order the Drippy Drip. So do that. Let's shake it up like the Cars. It's a great song, Drew. You like that song? Shake it up.
I like that song.
Shake it up.
I also like the get in there. Yeah.
Get in there.
Just that part of the song, the cancel the rest.
Right, yeah, because that was like the only part of the song that like when you were in college that like it was hot on the dance floor.
A little hot and heavy.
Yeah, a little wobble, baby, wobble. I remember that. There was a lot of wobbliness last night in Martinsville. So we got to start this off. The main things we're going to be talking about on episode 170. Obviously, the Martinsville race under the lights, probably one of the most epic races of the season so far. Very, very drama-filled, very suspenseful race. And I think it played out perfectly. Because if you caught earlier in the week, they released a promo video for Martinsville. Because this is the first time NASCAR has ever done this race under the lights. All right? And how they shot it and the lights, the strobes, everything, it was like literally, it looked like a WWE intro video. Almost like for the Undertaker. Like if the Undertaker was a racetrack, he would be Martinsville under the lights. That's what he would.
You can get behind that comparison. I like that. That's one of your better ones.
I know. Hey, I'm coming
It's
around.
Drip Drop.
It's the Drip Drop. Yeah.
And don't mind me. I'm just over here eating lunch. I
I was seeing that. We're lunch boys today.
We are.
This is good stuff. I had a little snack already. Had my little lunch, but I'm always glad to see you snacking on the bowl. What do you got in there? Let's show the Garage fam. Show the Garage fam what we're munching on.
Little Qdoba.
Oh,
See if I can angle this.
Is it? That's that home style. That's not no Chipotle.
Yeah, it's Qdoba. It has some steak, some chicken, some lettuce, some queso, some rice, some pinto beans. Get in there, boy.
Ooh, yeah. All right, I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, so yeah.
How about this race though? Okay,
I got to go ahead. We got to start it off. Shout out to Martin Truex Jr. for not making me look like a complete dumbass. We had our pick video we put out on Rotoballer, obviously, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the industry had Kyle Busch, and we got a lot to talk about with the fantasy side of things, but Martinsville is for Martins, and I said it, and I stay true to it, and it proved itself once again tonight. Now that Martin Truex Jr. understands short tracks and he knows how to drive these things, there's no stopping Martin in Martinsville. It's literally, you cannot rule him out at any Martinsville here forward until he decides to retire. And I think,
especially with that name.
Yeah, the name.
What happened to the sevens though, man? What happened to the sevens?
The sevens. Okay, so the sevens were a bad omen.
I agree.
At first, I thought that, okay, we acknowledged that something was going on with Kyle Busch in the sevens. And for those of you that didn't get to check out the Rotoballer video, basically what we stated was that Kyle Busch, starting in position 7, the last time he started in position 7, he finished the race first. The last time he started the race in 14th at Martinsville, he finished in first. Okay, so it's multiples of 7 going on there. So usually when you roll a 7, it's a good thing. 7 or 11, right? You just don't want snake eyes. Well, in this case, the 7s were disguised as snake eyes. Okay? That is Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is not too good, right?
The streak is dead.
Yeah.
The
So
Snake Eyes are not good.
that's canceled. But in Kyle's defense, okay, I will say this: Toyota in general, except for Martin, because he's excluded because his name is Martin. All the Toyotas sucked, like absolute penis. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is, dude. It was horrible, man. Watching the beginning of this race was a nightmare for everybody in DFS, obviously. Now, you know me. I'm a little bit more like I'll have some lineups that people will look at and be like, who made this? You know, because I'll do some very contrarian plays. So when the race first started, I had like maybe 1 or 2, 3 lineups that were like just like whoom, through the roof. And I was like, oh, my God, like this is incredible. But for the majority of it, I was like, okay, well, I knew that it was going to eventually balance out. Something had to give, but it was just the most insane start. But you can't have a start like that at Martinsville when you're Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, because once you go that far back and you get lapped, it's very hard to get back on that lead lap unless you're in the position where you get the free pass or whatsoever. But I don't know what it could have been, man. I mean, just the Toyota thing, because Christopher Bell was a pick that we both had. We liked him a lot, you know, and he struggled as well. So
it reminded me of our conversation about news like qualifying before the race starts, and we had a debate about how that impacts drivers. And this would have been a perfect race for you to say, like, this news impacts the race, like get off of this driver if he moves to the back of the field. So these short tracks, you know, you got to remember that that's a thing, especially at Martinsville. But like you said, the most bizarre 150 first laps of a race. And I know exactly what you're feeling, what you're talking about when you have a few lineups that are crushing, but then you're like torn because you're like, do I root for these very few lineups or do I want these other ones to get back in the mix? It's like you can't have both. So
you can't have them both whatsoever. And, you know, and I definitely wanted the majority of mine to do better, you know, and I ended up and towards like the second stage, you know, that's when I started realizing like, okay, these are going to be the ones that are going to do it if they're going to do it. And that's when things changed for me. You know, I had one, I think I had like, you know, one with Truex, Logano, and Harvick. And I had another one that I did, but I did well in multipliers. And, you know, I did decent in all my lineups that I had. You know, I didn't have a losing night. I got some bags. I know you got some bags. So we got some bags. Didn't get the ultimate bag, but we got some bags. And so I'm satisfied with the performance, you know, and we just it's just one of those weird things, man. It's just these races, the no practice thing, and the differences. Because like I said, there's never been a race under the lights at Martinsville. You know, and all these things that line up, that it's a very weird, odd year. And, you know, we're going to get a lot of things right, but then there's just going to be some of those races where we don't nail it all the way. But I mean, that's a part of playing the game, you know? So
yeah. And we're gonna be transparent about it too. I mean, this is probably one of the worst rankings I've done, but that was mainly to do with Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, and it happens. Right. And I had a few lineups bail me out. I think I ended up still winning a little bit of money last night, but that's how it falls sometimes. Sometimes 1 or 2 lineups will carry you to the green, but overall, might be some frustration from the rankings. But I stand by all our plays for sure, and we nailed a few guys. I think we're gonna get into that later. I know we nailed a few, and we just whiffed on a few. So.
Yeah, and that's look. If anybody would have told you that Kyle Busch was going to just be complete garbage at Martinsville, they wouldn't know what the hell they were talking about. Let's be honest with it. So that's what that is. You know, you talk about Austin Dillon. One thing about AD that shocked me was I know that we were under the assumption that I think it was AJ Allmendinger was going to be there to take over his car if in the event that he had to go and go to go see his wife because she was going to be giving birth very soon. And it didn't work out that way, but he still had to be pulled from his car. I think that they said he got overheated, and it's more important now, I think, than ever that we get NASCAR drivers drip drop.
I know. I've been thinking about that a lot.
it's showing itself, man. You know, you had Bubba pass out last week. You had Austin Dillon pass out and had to be pulled from the car. But I think what hurt the most is the fact that we were under the assumption that there would be someone there to take over his ride, and there wasn't.
No, that he was there. It's something to do with the rules. Like he out for going to support his wife or the child and going into labor, for his wife going into labor. But I don't think Allmendinger could get in after he basically exited for heat, and it had to do something with the way the car was damaged, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Allmendinger was absent.
Well, see, at first I thought that it was one of those things where, you know, the accident that he had in the beginning of the race, like it allowed the fumes to get in the car. I don't think that was the problem. I think that he literally just got overheated.
Interesting. Well, if that's the case, still, I don't think.
Yeah, the rules probably state that if that's something, then that's kind of like that would be like a free gimme. You know what I mean? Like for his situation with his wife, it's different. So that's definitely understandable. Looking at this winning lineup, though, you know, we have Blaney, Kez, Truex, Logano, Buescher, and McDowell. And let's go ahead and say, you know, Buescher was definitely the play that I wasn't on at first. And going into Wednesday, when I started playing around with these lineups a little bit more, I quickly realized how important it would be to have Buescher in, because Blaney, Kez, Truex, and Logano, that's a 4-stack right there.
Yeah. And
with the salaries, and like you said in your rankings, you know, when you were writing in your rankings article, there was a lot of drivers that were underpriced that you felt like. And, you know, and I agree with that 100%. So I had a lot of Buescher, and I had some McDowell, and, you know, I had maybe one or two of the bottom barrel guys, you know, just kind of trying to –
2 weeks in a row making us money.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. I wish I would have wrote about him a little bit more, but I focused a little more of my attention on Bell and Custer. And it, you know, with SHR, I thought that they were going to turn the leaf. Kevin Harvick was one of the guys he was running really well. And then just towards the end there, got scooted back to 15th. And I think that was a big letdown for the best lineup, one of the best lineups that I had. But yeah, it's just it's like I had said earlier in the week, man. This was going to be a Penske. I thought it was either going to be Penske or Gibbs were going to dominate the race, and for the most part, Martin Truex put Penske on his back. I mean, put Gibbs on his back, and then the Penske boys, dude, they did it.
Yeah, you were on it from the team standpoint for sure. Early. And back to your point on Buescher, I think that was the guy that we were texting at like 2 a.m, and I was like, I know we briefly talked about Buescher, but I really, really like him. And so we were able to cover our bases on that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There was one other point I wanted to make. Oh, the winning lineup. So I was off only one driver on that. I had Ryan Newman instead of Buescher.
Yeah.
Ryan Newman still had a great day. It just was a difference of like 4 points.
I know, man. Like, Ryan had a great day. And look, this is the big one, okay? I don't know if you read the comments on our Rotoballer YouTube videos, but there was a guy that had literally commented on there and said, I hope more people think like you guys about Bubba Wallace. I love free money. And to that guy, I want to give a big fuck you, because he had over 50 points and had his best career race, just like I said he would have. It is not anything to do with the equipment. It's not anything to do with the package. Bubba literally understands Martinsville, and he's getting better and better at every race, and he continued that trend. So suck on that, whatever the hell your name is. That's all I have to say about Bubba.
And are you going to be commenting on everybody's comments on the podcast? Because I would be all about that. Please continue to do so.
Oh, yes. No, I make sure.
You're triggered.
Yeah, I did. But see, here's the deal is, like, as soon as I saw that comment, I started laughing. I'm like, this kid has no fucking idea what's about to happen, because I knew I had full confidence and faith in Bubba at this track. And Bubba will eventually, it could be the next race at Martinsville. It could be a year from now, 2 years from now. He will win at Martinsville. He will bring a clock home. It's a guarantee. That dude loves Martinsville. He said it himself after the race. He loves Martinsville. And I fully expect Bubba to start getting a little bit more money going into his car. I think with everything that's happening in our society right now, people are paying a little bit more attention. There's definitely a lot more eyes on NASCAR now, and Bubba's been able to bring that attention to the forefront. It doesn't like skip a beat whatsoever. Like, Bubba will get a better sponsor, and it should be Buffalo Wild Wings, because what better way to sponsor someone than for them to literally have their name be B-Dub? This makes sense.
You get a founder's fee?
I should, for connecting Buffalo Wild Wings. Literally, B-Dubs. What's that noise?
Oh, shout out to the clock.
We're back in the presence of the clock. Shout out to the clock. It's been a minute. Shout out to the clock.
Motivation.
Woo!
It's it.
Dude, it's it, baby. The clock has not been around in forever. But look, even the clock knows.
Incredible.
Okay, because it was Martinsville. We had to have the clock. I had to make sure I was where the clock was for this one. But I just I definitely expect that. So with more money, more equipment going in, it'd be awesome to see that 43 back, doing well and competing week to week, because I know they got the right driver. They've had the right driver. It's just I don't know why Richard Petty has had such a hard time getting better sponsors for a legendary number in NASCAR. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, but I agree with everything you said.
Yeah,
I would love to see Bubba in a better equipment.
Me too.
I'm not trying to say that all this political, social stuff going on right now is gonna mean he gets better equipment, but there's so much pressure and so much eyes on Bubba to be the spokesperson right now for NASCAR that I think he's going to have the opportunities for him for sponsorships and that's all I'm saying. This is nothing more than that. He is literally bringing more eyes to the sport.
I have never in my life seen Richard Sherman, Alvin Kamara. You've got NFL players watching NASCAR races now. Just removing, making the changes, removing the Confederate flag from this sport, taking strides for diversity. Like, NASCAR is about to explode because everyone's had this common narrative of what NASCAR has been for so long. And now that we're coming out, we're making these strides and changes like every other every other sport out there, every other organization out there. We're bringing racing into the future. So I'm super excited for the changes that are coming and how this is going to impact all drivers and the sport itself and the fan base and what this is going to be. It's just a really exciting time for NASCAR, and especially to be a NASCAR fan. So I couldn't be happier from a fan standpoint. And, of course, I'm happy from a DFS and Sports Better standpoint. Because things are shaking up really well. Yeah, I can't complain whatsoever. And we got to talk about this too before we
Can I say one thing?
Yes, you have to. You have to speak.
Just to all the people that are so angry over the changes, I just don't really get it. And it tells me, you're probably just unhappy with your current situation. If you're so mad about this, and if you're unhappy with your situation, I'm betting that you're going to be mad for 2-3 weeks and not watch racing. Then you're going to realize how unhappy you still are, and you're going to end up coming right back and watching on Sunday. So I don't think it's going to have a huge hit. These people that are rallying together thinking it's going to have a huge hit on ratings probably will be right back watching. So.
Yeah, and if they don't, then fine, get out. Don't watch sports in general. You know what I mean? Screw you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the same thing with Colin Kaepernick whenever he was taking a knee and everybody, I'm not watching the NFL anymore. And I remember people getting mad at me for because I don't know, they were just how can you sit there and watch this when someone's kneeling on our flag? And at the time I was just sitting there yo, I play fantasy football.
Yeah, I watch it for entertainment.
And I bet on this. I'm not going to stop watching. I watch this for football. I don't watch this for political shit. You know what I mean? If they want to do that, I completely agree. If they have every right to protest in whatever the way they want to. Anybody that plays sports. It blows my mind how dumb Americans really are at the end of the day sometimes. Like, it's just not all Americans, but, man, I don't know. And it's very
It's the
small
ones
percent.
yeah, I mean, I think it's the minority are the ones that are the loudest. Like the small group are the ones that are the ones complaining so much that it makes you feel like there's more people. But
Right.
I think
It's the
most people are on
people.
the same wavelength as us, honestly.
And I do too. I think that it's just the people that choose fear over love at the end of the day. I'm going on my hippie shit. So that's literally what it is. It's just the people that choose fear over love, man. That's all I can say about it. And we'll move forward from there. But
Yep.
the last thing I got to say about Martinsville that I don't think that we haven't given enough gratitude to is I did a dance yesterday to CNC Music Factory. Everybody dance now. Super excited for Martinsville. It was on Twitter. And then everybody was starting to comment about the rain. Do you think it's going to rain? I'm like, if everyone's dancing to this song and just screaming Martinsville, the universe is going to be like, okay, we can't rain on this track, not on this night, on this historical night in NASCAR. So I started telling everybody, if you're dancing, you're rain dancing. You're going to keep the rain away. So we did that, and the vortex theory, where if there's rain in the area and the car's going around, rain can't enter that because it's going to create this this combination of tornado-like force to where rain cannot enter the area. So I think a combination of the CNC Music Factory, Everybody Dance Now dance I did on Twitter, and the vortex theory, and everyone else that participated in the dance made it to where it didn't rain. Because if you were watching, as soon as the race was over, it started pouring. We're on
I
to
didn't realize
something.
that.
We're on to
I
something.
didn't realize it started raining after. I guess I just
Immediately.
turned it off.
Look, it was literally, and it couldn't have been more perfect. As soon as Truex did his burnout, got into victory lane, got his clock, took his picture, poured. How incredible is that?
Did you do it yourself? Do you think you caused
Nah.
it? Are you
Look,
taking credit?
I can't take 100% credit because the vortex.
85?
I'll say 50%.
50% credit?
50%. Okay. Half and half. Vortex theory. Everybody dance now dance. So my question is, if we know that there's rain coming to any track, I got to test the theory again. I'm going to have to do another dance and put it on TikTok and Twitter and everywhere else. And we're going to test the theory. Because if it works a second time, then I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to an 80% chase, 20% vortex theory.
Might be like the sevens, though. Might get you on the third time.
I don't know. Yo, I'll have to be careful, man. I don't know.
Like how I did that?
You did. Yeah, I mean, you dude, you're the numbers guy, chef boy whipping numbers.
Man, I didn't chef up the one to Randy the plumber.
Yesterday. Hey, yeah. Well, look,
that felt like a lock, though.
Randy
I felt so good about it.
Dude, yeah, I did too. Anybody would have, dude. Somebody like Jimmy Johnson that has literally like, it's like Randy said, the ultimate teller of time, Father Time. He owns like a shitload of clocks. So I mean, like, you know that he's going to do good, and look what he did in stage 2. So I mean, he was looking like
so good about it.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, there's no way Alex Bowman is going to finish over Jimmy. I was all for it, but Randy was upset. But I told him, I said, look, hey. It's like that Tom Petty song. Yeah, we're on to Miami. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and it's okay. And we're going to bounce back. That's just
we're going
to
2-1. We're going to 2-1 in Miami.
Very easy, and it's hot dog season now too. I don't know if you caught that. For all the Garage fam, we declared it hot dog season for the rest of the year. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of hot dog energy, and we're going to be eating a lot of dogs. It's going to be
2020 needs hot dog energy.
It does. Hot dog season is upon us. It's going to make everything better. Super excited. But looking forward to Miami, we're going to have salaries and everything else. I think that'll be drawn. Right now it is Thursday, basically Thursday afternoon. So we'll have all that information for you guys as far as our picks, things like that on our Rotoballer NASCAR DFS preview show. And you can find that over on Rotoballer's YouTube channel. And be sure to be using promo code GARAGE when you subscribe to Drew and I's content over at Rotoballer. You're going to save 10% on your subscription. And over there, you're not only going to get Drew's rankings, my picks, you're also going to get the video every week that's free on YouTube. You're going to get value picks by Sean Engel or Justin Carter from week to week. You're going to get other analysis from Sean Engel. You're going to get free rankings from him. You're going to get a research station that you can use week to week, a lineup optimizer, and then driver updates and news is all there from our entire team with Rotoballer NASCAR. So be sure to use promo code GARAGE when you are checking out to get that subscription.
Yeah. Also to that point, just want to say that's like the biggest nod to how hard me and you are working. If someone supports that and uses that code and submits that for us and lets us know, like give us a shout out that you did it. If you like our content, then that's basically how you can show that. And the more you do that type of stuff, the more we can get on YouTube and do videos and stuff like that. So just wanted to say that if you want to show your appreciation, that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, we look at this is our job, and we want to make sure you guys are taken care of. So we love it when you do take care of us as well. It allows us to keep doing what we do, and we do appreciate everybody that is out there that's subscribed already, and to the new people that do subscribe. So again, promo code GARAGE, Rotoballer NASCAR premium content. The race in Miami. This is going to be, I don't know how much time you've taken. I thought about it a little bit after the race last night, and I started thinking heavy about this is the first time we're going to have a race in Miami. And if it's not the first time, it's been a very long time, but first time where it's not November and it's not the last race of the season.
Yeah. First time thinking about that, whereas right now for me.
Yeah. This is going to change maybe a little bit. The track conditions are going to be different. We're in Miami in the middle of summer, or the very beginning of summer. It's hot. It's hot down there. We go into Miami Will Smith style.
Somebody else is going to dehydrate for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be hot. I need to find a way to get drip dropped to Miami by Sunday. I might have to go now and just be like, because I'm going to call people we know and just send a shitload of it so they can get it and just disperse it. And I think that would be the best possible plan to keep these guys.
I agree. Have we told our contacts there that, like, we need to make them aware of the two events, the Austin Dillon thing and the Bubba event?
Oh, they know.
They do?
They know. Drip Drop has seen what's been going down. They're ready. Like, we're just waiting on NASCAR, man.
To give us the green light, and then we're taking it all out there?
Yeah. I would go find a way to get there, because the only people that can go to this race are there's 500 military members that are going to be allowed to go and spectate, which I think is amazing and awesome for our military members. That's going to be something exciting. There may be some of those guys and girls that have never watched a NASCAR race. They get to go there. So that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely can always a good opportunity to bring in new fans. And it's cool that they're doing that for our military members. But yeah, we got to get drip drop to these guys. I think it's going to be a game changer for everyone. So we'll definitely try to make that happen. But we got a stacked week, man. Saturday, we've got an Xfinity race and a truck race. And then Sunday, we have another Xfinity race and the Cup race. So it's going to be wild, man. Like, this is going to be a fun weekend. There's a double header, a double back-to-back Xfinity race, and then the truck race. The truck race is going to be fun to watch. I'm excited for that one for sure. And then, of course, the way that they're doing things moving forward with NASCAR, I don't think we're doing any more inversions. It's going to be drawing. They're going to be drawing for place position. And I don't know how you feel about this, Drew, but I'm honestly okay if they just kept doing this.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I go back and forth. Are you talking about the no qualifying, no practice?
Yeah, like just no qualifying, no practice. Like,
yeah, I'm cool with that.
It's like literally just like slingshot NASCAR. Like, I'm here for it, dude. Like,
I go back and forth though. Don't you sometimes like having the data though? Like,
it's nice. It's nice having it, man. But like, I think what happens is the longer you play a certain way, and you're just you start getting used to how the things are. I mean, it might make it a little bit more of a toss up, but in general, I think that this is. I think this maybe has probably helped me a little bit more than hurt me, because I feel like when we have a lot of data at the forefront, like you sit there and you do. I mean, like, it's good to have it, but like sometimes people can overanalyze and really think really hard, and you can do that with any type of thing. But with this, it's like, okay, this is where they're starting. We don't know anything else but that, and we got to go based off of what we know about them. And it forces you to pay way more attention week to week, and to look at, what we do have for data, which is the intermediate tracks. Like, this is an intermediate track. So we're going to go and look at other tracks similar to this one, and then we can look and see, okay, if this driver did well at this track that's similar to Miami, and we can kind of use those things, and then we use pricing as well. But I think that's where the playing field gets even, is because everyone is using that as well. So there's not one person that's digging into something deeper than the other.
There's never been more emphasis on how you're building your lineups from a roster construction standpoint. Like, what is your process of how you formulate these lineups? Has never been more important than it is today, because there's no qualifying, there's no practice. The data is important, but everybody's got the same data. So if you are somebody that's taking your time and knows how to build lineups and knows how these ownership percentages are going to go, you're going to have an edge. And the edge right now in fantasy NASCAR is probably as big as it's been since 2016, 2017, because there's so many new players that we have an advantage. It's a simple thing.
Simple equation.
That's why we're trying to get people to follow the leaders.
That's it. That's right. That's why we want you guys to be subscribing and to follow us on Twitter and hit us up in the DMs and check out the Rotoballer Premium Slack chat. Like, we're going to take care of you guys. So, I mean, that's why we do what we do. But yeah, so we'll have that information out again, and we'll make sure that we get that to you. And also, if you want to play some Xfinity and truck racing, be sure to check out Justin Carter's news pieces over on Rotoballer as well. And there's a lot of good outlets for Xfinity and truck racing. I think that there's definitely probably been some underground people that have talked about it since it's been on DraftKings. But there's a lot of there's a lot of people I know that are covering Xfinity and truck really well. Out there. So definitely get data from anywhere and everywhere you can, but definitely go to Rotoballer first. And other than that, man, it's just I'm ready to get these lineups set and figuring out what I want to do, and ready to see where some of these guys end up. As far as position, I feel like we're going to be able to put together another really good Sunday. Just where things fell at Martinsville, I feel like it's going to allow there's definitely going to be some huge chalk for Martinsville. I mean, for Miami, there'll be some big chalk for this one because of how things shook out. I mean, look at like Kyle Busch and Denny finishing where they finished. Like, they're going to be put into a certain area. So it's going to be.
How are they doing lineup this week? Remind me.
They're going to be doing like 1st through 12th.
On ownership points or on the last race.
They're going to have. I think they're using if I'm looking at this correctly, I don't want to lie. But I read something where it said it was going to be like last race and ownership points, maybe. Like, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
Because if it's my point is, I didn't mean to call you out.
It's not going to matter. Yeah, it's not going to matter about Kyle Busch and Denny.
It's not, because like if it was something like that where this last race mattered a lot, then you're gonna have some chalk for sure.
Yes,
but if it's off ownership points, then maybe not as chalky.
So here we go. Yeah, positions 1 through 12th, random draw from charter teams in those positions, and owner points 13th through 24th is the same.
So it's just like normal.
Yeah, just like
it's been doing.
So we'll see Kyle Busch and in that 1 through 12 range again.
Yeah.
yeah. So
the expensive guys will be, you know, who we need to capture. So the
who's
guys that are right outside the top 12 at ownership points that are underperforming, that get the random drawing in that 20 to 24 range, because it's going to be 13 to 24, right? Those guys are going to be grouped together.
yes.
So if somebody is underperforming because they had a bad race at Martinsville and they drop outside of the top 12, and then the random drawing puts them at 20th, we're gonna be rolling.
I'm smelling what you're cooking, Chef Boy. I'm smelling it. Yeah.
And the same thing for each tier, right? Like you can do that for each tier.
Yeah, you're gonna have
You're
going to have somebody move in, somebody move out. So yeah, we'll definitely look into that, and stay tuned, and we'll make sure that we let you guys know so you don't have to do all the work. We want to do that for you. But before we go, I wanted to just ask and see, who is your early favorite for this race? And I'm going to give you a couple of names that are really well here. Obviously, it's the championship boys. Truex being on top right now with 123 laps led here since 2018. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, and Chase Elliott are the 10 top drivers at this track.
I can tell your focus right now.
Yeah,
I can tell you're zoned in.
But I mean, if we're let's just take it from some of the big guys hypothetically. I mean, looking at what I'm seeing right here,
I'm going Matt and Truex and KB, honestly.
Yeah,
Busch just burned me, and I think Truex is gonna. There's something about the way he's the eye test the past 2 races for me with Truex tells me that he's going to have a nice stretch of races. And I don't have it's a gut boy thing.
Once he gets hot, man. Once he gets hot, dude, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been ready to see that because, like, you know, I'm a low-key Truex fan, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like me some Truex, especially if I'm repping Toyota, then I'm gonna roll with Truex over a lot of these other guys. But yeah, for both of us, it's just gonna take us seeing, you know, how things are looking as far as where drivers are starting at, and then we'll be able to analyze more from there. I got a weird feeling last night, and this could completely change, but I had this weird feeling when I was looking at all this that Denny Hamlin was going to win this race.
I would love for there to be recency bias and people to not play Hamlin and Kyle Busch because of what just happened.
Yes.
And me and you go overweight. If the qualifying order is where we want it. So I hope your feeling is right.
If I see Denny somewhere around, like, anywhere from like I'd say probably 6 to 12, then I'm probably – I don't know if I want him on the pole, but then again, I don't know how things are going to shake out because I've never seen a race here at this time of year. So I don't know what that's going to do to track. The track conditions are going to be different. Pit strategy is going to have to be different. The overheating could possibly be an issue. This is what we're going to start doing. All the guys that we pick for races, we're going to make sure they all get drip drop. Okay. We're going to send them all drip drop. We're going to keep them hydrated, and that's the edge for all the Garage fam and the roto ballers that take our picks.
It's a bribe. We just bribe these cup drivers.
But bam, get your drip drop.
Yeah, you're going to get our attorney signed.
I know. Well, you finished up eating. I had a little snack. I'm probably going to get me another snack. This has been a show. And get ready because we got a lot more content coming for you throughout the weekend. As always, you can hit us up. Find me on every social media network at Garage Guy Chase. You can find Chef Boy at Chef Boy R. Dean.
I don't want to say it because I like the way you say it.
You say it now. Your turn.
Chef Boy R. Dean.
Chef Boy R. Dean.
You released a video the other day. This is the last thing I'll say before we get off this podcast. But you released a video where you said Chef Boy R. Dean. I think you said I'm about to get on the Roto Baller video with Chef Boy R. Dean. I was like, man, the way he says Chef Boy it's really interesting. It's like a chef. Like Austin Powers. Yeah.
Chef Boy.
It's very pronounced.
It rolls off the tongue. Yeah, enunciated. Got to do that for sure.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, look, we love you as always. Ready to get back racing. Stick with the Garage fam. We're going to make sure that you get some winners and bag some turnies.
Winners.
And let's have us a hell of a weekend and a hell of a race in Miami. We'll see you. Sports, party, repeat.
It's the garage guys. 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 It's the garage guys.